happens every now and then. It's always a good thing. So take a minute to find your sit bones. And if they're hidden, you might invite them to come out and connect down to the earth. Bring your hands and make the peace sign and connect the two fingers to the earth. Lift your shoulders up, roll them back and down, and take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Blow it out through your mouth. Again, deep breath in. And out through your mouth. And this time, as you begin to draw the breath in through your nose, allow it to come in and go out through the nose as well. And feel yourself begin to anchor down into the earth. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just notice what it feels like to be connected to the earth. And imagine as you just soften into that pelvic floor, feel that tailbone touch the floor. And if it's not, it doesn't matter. But imagine that it's growing like a tail down into the earth like a root, the root of a tree, deep into the earth. And as it grows down into the earth, it passes through many layers. Many layers, the top or crusty part of the earth. Then it gets to the soft part of the earth. And then that root finds water, which nourishes it. And it keeps going until it comes to the core center of the earth. And imagine that root growing around the center of the earth, really anchoring you into your experience of being grounded. Finding your breath, inhaling, exhaling. And notice how as you anchor into the earth and you lift through the pelvic floor and the belly button grows back to the spine, the crown reaches for the sky. Inhaling, turning the palms over and lifting them up as if you're receiving what the sun has to offer. And reaching those fingertips out to the corners of the wall. So it's not directly overhead, it's more of reaching out. And then bring the arms back as if you're leading with your thumbs to go behind you and feel that heart open. Feel the heart open to what today's experience has to offer. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Inhaling and exhaling. And on the next inhale, inhaling the hands up overhead. Let those fingertips really reach to the sky as you draw the shoulder blades down your back. Feeling the muscles of your arms wrapping around the bones. Breathing into it. So now we have this long, beautiful anchor to the center of the earth. And imagine that root coming up, connecting to your spine. And the spine grows up all the way through the back of your neck and reaching through the crown of your head and opening to the heavens, opening to the sunshine, opening what is there to be received. Inhaling through your fingertips and exhaling, heading to the right, letting that left hand, the right hand come down, spinning the heart open, always growing towards the sunshine, much like the sunflowers do. They follow the sun. And when there is no sun, they turn towards each other. Inhaling, coming back to center, exhaling, head of the other direction. Letting this nice, gentle, first lateral opener be noticed what happens from one side to the other. This is where the inquiry begins. Where am I having resistance? Where is resistance showing up in my body? Where is resistance showing up in my life? Breathing into it. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling the hands down. Bringing the hands all the way behind you. Clasping the hands behind you. And as you do so, feel that heart space open. As the hands come together, imagine that somebody is taking a hold of them and drawing them down your back. Lifting up through the heart. Bring those ears over your shoulders and move along. A lot of times we'll go through life with our head forward, bringing it back, breathing in. Knowing that what we create in our mind is what is creating our reality. So as you create your reality in your mind, if it's uncomfortable, ask yourself, is it true? If it's comfortable, run with it. Lowering the hands down, inhaling them back up. Exhaling, twisting to the right, connecting that left hand to the right knee, encouraging that twist all the way around. Feeling that whole spine open as you grow along, pulling those ears back over your shoulders. So if we're headed through life like this, and this is a natural tendency that I have from long ago, bringing the head back right into the present. The present of today. Inhaling, lifting those hands up, coming back to the center. Exhaling the other direction, all the way around. Spinning it around, dropping down out of the shoulders, breathing into it, noticing that the release happens on the exhale. So as you inhale, go long, and as you exhale, twist. See if you can bring that nose over that left shoulder. It's more of a metaphor, looking over the shoulder, acknowledging where you have been, honoring it, learning from it. Inhaling, lifting those hands back up, coming back to what is before you, and bowing down to that. Leading with your heart. When you meet resistance in the hips, just hang out there. Allow it to be there. No forcing. Grow long through the crown, inhaling, exhaling, allowing the softening. Inhaling and exhaling, allowing the softening. It doesn't matter how deep you go. It matters that you honor the divine within. It's there. Nice deep breath in, inhaling hands up one more time. Exhaling down. We're going to go right into table. Moving through table, just allowing first to establish those knees underneath the hips, the hands under the shoulders, spread those fingers wide. Let the eyes of the elbow either come to facing each other. What happens when you spin the eyes of the elbow to facing each other, it opens the shoulder blades across the back. Inhale, imagine that I'm coming around and encouraging that belly button up to your spine, taking the lift out of your back. And on the inhale, begin to rotate around the wrist. Do it gently, small circles to start with. Giving the wrist joints a little bit of love. inviting them to move in a different way, allowing the hips to gently begin to move into this. Noticing what opens. My elbows are popping, my hips are popping, everything is open. And then inhaling and headed the other direction, going the other way. Beautiful. On the next inhale, come right back into tabletop. Take note of where your palms are at and bring the elbows down right to where your palms were. And notice if the elbows land underneath your shoulders. And if they don't, adjust accordingly. Open your palms wide, lay them down on the floor, and curl your toes under, inhaling and lifting that tail up into dolphin. So let the knees be really soft. Let this be about opening the arms, allowing the heart to travel to the knees. Let go of your head, nowhere to go except hanging out. Now, lower the knees down slightly and really feel the Achilles tendon. That's the tendon right at the back of the heel. Begin to open and feel the toes open. This is a great opening for the feet. And if you have plantar fasciitis, this is really a great stretch. It will be painful the first time you do it, but no injuries occurring as you do it. It's just opening up the fascial tissue across the bottom of the feet. Breathing into it, warming the body. Knowing that at any time, if you need to just come to right here, let your heart travel through your knees. This is puppy right here. As we lift the knees off the mat, we go into dolphin. And now begin to walk through the heels. One at a time. Do it slowly. Find your breath. Follow your breath. Check in on that core. Make sure that it's participating. It doesn't have to be cinched down. It's a gentle lifting. Allowing support to come from the center. Walking through those heels, following the breath. So as you toe up, you inhale. And as you heel down, you exhale. Walking it out. 2 more. Noticing that the shoulders are opening. And then inhaling up on both toes and exhaling all the way back. Lift that. Find your breath. Draw that belly button to the spine. And moving straight forward, lowering those knees down, coming back over, but now sinking back into child. Now, my bottom doesn't go all the way to my heel, but that is the goal. So if you want to open your knees to create space for the front bottom, you can do that, allowing yourself to sink back a little bit deeper. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Feeling the groundedness of the opening anchor and allowing that forehead to connect to the mat. Opening that third eye and allowing anything that you no longer need. Any unnecessary thoughts. Any memories that no longer serve you. Pour them into the earth. Allow them to leave your presence and let Mother Earth hold them. Knowing that at any time that you need them, she will return them to you. On the next inhale, we're going to rise back up. This time we're going to come into half plank. So half plank, because not full plank, we're not there yet. Bring that bottom in line, drawing up through the pelvic floor, lengthening through those feet, drawing the shoulders down, pelvic floor is lifting up, belly button to your spine, and then lower straight down. Do this slowly. Feel those arms working. Hover just above the floor, and then scoop down, and without moving your hands, lengthen through the crown into just a little teeny small cobra. So we've done a nice long movement all the way through the front spine stabilizers working to the back spine stabilizers working and the front spine stabilizers opening. Can you feel that around your vertebrae? Feel the strength in the center of your body, your foundation, the center. On the next inhale, we're going to curl our toes under, and we're going to go all the way up to downward facing dog. And this is our first dog of the day, so be very gentle here. And if you need to bend your knees, then do so. If you need to walk your feet in so you're not so splayed out, do that. Feel where you are in your body. Let go of your head. If your knees need to be soft, let that happen. Let this be about the heart traveling to your knees, bowing to the divine within. Notice what it feels like to let both heels travel to where they can land together at this point. And then inhale up on your toes and lengthen through the right leg, letting the left knee be soft and doing just a pedal motion of the heel going down, just the right foot walking the dog. We're going to walk the dog really slowly today so that the hamstrings can open. Play with this a little bit. What would it feel like if you just allowed your knee to travel to your little toe? It's less of a movement and more of an energetic change. An opening of the hip will occur. Engage that core, support the pelvis so that you're not spinning out of it. Inhaling up onto your toes, and same thing, left foot, exhale all the way down into it. What does it feel like? Play with it. Spin that knee to the little toe. If your arms are growing tired and you want to take a break, go down into child's pose, honor that. Inhaling into both toes and then exhaling down into both heels. My heels, in all the years I've done yoga, have never ever once touched the mat. I just have super tight hamstrings. So that's okay. It is what it is in my body. That's my work. Spinning the knees open to the little toe, lifting that tail to the sky. It's almost as if you want to touch the ceiling with your tailbone. Lift it up. Let that heart go to your knees. 2 more breaths. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Inhaling straight forward into plank. Now we're coming into full plank. We know where our core is. Lengthen into that. Draw those shoulders down. If you need to modify before you go down, then do that. Elbows in. Lowering straight down, slow. Let the work be in the arms. And then inhaling up. Engaging that core, deepening this cobra. It may be deeper, it may not be. It might be a mental deepening, and that's okay. Nice deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. This time as we press back, we're going to press back into child's pose. So as you're ready, lifting up, opening the knees, and coming all the way back into child's pose. It's a long, sort of snaky movement. Again, allow your body to sink back. Trust the body that it knows what it can do and what it cannot do. Open that third eye, connect it to the mat, allow anything that came up now to come on out, pour it out. Breathe into it. On the next inhale, we're going to rise up, bring those knees back under you, curl under the toes, and lift back up into downward facing dog. Find your dog. Let's have 4 breaths. Find your breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Let it be what it is in your body. 2 more. And last one. So we're going to head into forward fold, and the way you're going to get there is your choice. You can walk into it, you can step, you can jump. What is the power in your body?
I'm a walker today, so I'm going to drop all the way down into forward fold. Release the hands, put them into your elbows, and allow the weight of your arms and your upper body to just allow you to be in standing forward fold. Anchor into it. Let it be what it is. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just hanging out. Again, we can open the top of our head and let everything we no longer need pour out of our crown. Sometimes when we pour information and energy we no longer need out of our crown, it comes from the anchor of our feet connecting to the earth, up the back of our legs, coming together in the pelvis, and then travels up the spine, over the head, and out of the top of the head. Can you feel it? Notice how you allow that to happen. With each exhale, we deepen into the forward fold a little bit more. Nowhere to go. On the next inhale, inhale long. Exhale, allow your hands to drop back down to the floor. Squatting down into this. Just squat down. We're not going to Uttasana. We're just going to squat, let our knees travel to our little toes, just to give those hamstrings a little bit of a break. Engaging the quads, and then lifting back up through the tail. And as you lift up through the tail, just do a slight tip backwards. Let your fingers either touch your floor, touch your shins, but imagine that there's a wall behind you and that you're just going to sit back against it. And then come back forward over your feet. Notice if your toes are soft or gripping the mat. It doesn't matter, just notice. And allow that head to drop all the way down again. On the next inhale, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. If you have a sore low back, walk your hands up, help yourself up. Inhaling, growing tall. Keep going, bringing those arms all the way up overhead. Tall mountain, standing tall, drop out. So just like when we were sitting on the floor, our palms are facing each other. The fingertips are working towards the ceiling. The muscles around the arms are gripping the bones, drawing down through the shoulder blades. Bringing our ears back over the shoulders, belly buttons to the spine, pelvic floor is lifting up, spinning the knees out to the little toe. So that spinning the knees out to the little toe is really a deep energetic move. It brings the strength and engages the muscles that a lot of times go on vacation when we're looking to be grounded into the earth. Notice how when you spin the knees open, there's almost like a whoosh of energy that shoots up through the legs, through the center of the body, and holds this tall mountain pose for you. On the next inhale, inhale the fingertips up, open them out just slightly so that you're opening your hands wide as if they're reaching to the corners of the room. Coming out of your shoulders, letting those thumbs draw back, opening the heart. This just opens the pectoralis muscles, those chest muscles differently. A nice deep inhale, reach those fingers out like they're going to touch the wall. We're going to come in to spinning our hands over as if they're facing the floor. Feel each little muscle in the shoulders begin to wake up. And exhaling, bringing those hands all the way down. Bringing your shoulders away from your ears. My shoulders love living next to my ears. Drawing the hands behind you. Connecting your hands together. And if you can't reach your hands together, this is a great place to invite a strap in. So before lifting, engage that pelvic floor, draw the belly button back. Feel those shoulders roll back and down your shoulders. And like somebody's gonna, imagine that I'm coming behind you and just taking a hold of your hands and gently drawing them down towards the floor. Can you feel that? And as you feel that draw down, begin to lift them off your back. Breathe into it. Notice what's different when you're standing versus sitting. Just notice. Where's your head in this journey? What would you like to change? Draw it back over your shoulders, bringing it into your own journey. Allowing yourself to be present for you. Maybe going long through your crown and shooting up, out, above, whatever is drawing you down. Grow above it. On the next inhale, leading with your heart, hands still off the back, dive forward. Leading with your heart, opening those hands. If you have the space to let them come up over your head, do that. Mine go about, I like to think they're going to reach to the ceiling. Not sure that they are, but in my mind they are. Opening the shoulders, and then lower those hands down around the back. Let go of them. Bring them back to the floor. Take a second here. Give your wrists some love. Circle them around. Sometimes we get to yanking really hard on our wrists in that posture and we don't even realize it. Reverse the circles. Dropping down. Hands come to the floor or your shins, sinking back like you're going to touch that back wall. Coming back forward. Notice what your toes are doing. Picking them up, setting them down gently. No clenching the earth. Feel that tail lift to the sky. Soften the knees, sink down into it. Let those knees travel to the little toe. Nice deep breath. Inhaling up. Now with your hands on either side of your feet, step your left foot, let's go right foot. Step your right foot straight back. So your left foot is forward. Okay? So we're in high lunge. Let's work here for a second. Sink forward into a full lunge, and then sink back and lengthen that front leg and let that back heel begin to work towards the mat. Now, mine doesn't touch the mat. That's my goal. And then sink forward into high lunge again. Great place for blocks if you need it. And then sink back one more time. Feel those hips opening. And sinking forward. Now that we've got those hamstrings open, if you need to sink back in that back leg too, sink straight down. Feel the psoas open. Take a half a step in with that back foot and set that heel down on the floor. And then bring yourself all the way up, sorry for the back, into warrior two. Sink into that knee, let the knee travel to the little toe. Let the power be right here in the quad. Breathe into it. Pass through dancing warrior, so sink backwards first. And then slide across the body. Arm comes down, hand comes up. Palm is going to face forward, reaching for the ceiling. Sink into that knee. We have a tendency to pull out of it because our quads are weak, but what would happen if we became strong in our quads? We can step into our power. Lengthen through your crown. Now with this hand, spin the palm to face behind you and bring that arm all the way around behind you. And if you need to straighten the leg because your quad is getting stronger and it hurts, do that, but sink back into it. And then allow that hand to reach for your upper forearm, encouraging the twist. Whew. Breathing into it. Good job. Inhaling, leaning, releasing that arm, bringing that hand back up to reach into the ceiling, bringing it all the way over your ear. And then spinning all the way down, coming back into high lunge and step that foot forward. And if you need to give that left leg a little love because I'm having a cramp in it, then you can do that.
Come back into forward fold, drop all the way down. Inhaling, rolling yourself up. One vertebrae at a time, growing up tall, 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 tall. Bringing those hands up overhead, drop out of your shoulders. Engage that pelvic floor, draw that belly button back, but deepen your breath. So it's a fine play between the pelvic floor being engaged, but soft, so that when you take a nice deep inhale, as the diaphragm draws the air in, the pelvic floor also moves. They work together. Inhaling, opening those arms wide to the corners of the ribs. Now reach out, feel those muscles wrap around the bone. And then exhale, bring those hands behind you. Again, if you can reach your hands, clasp your hands behind you, draw down and then lift up and dive forward. There it is, right there. Breathe into it, 3 breaths. Exhaling, lowering the hands down, releasing the hands, shake them out, give them some circles, and then let those hands land beside your feet and step that left foot back. So we've already been through this one, so you know what to do. So if you're facing away from me, just trust that your body knows what to do. Sink forward into lunge and let that knee travel to the little toe. And then draw back, opening the hamstrings of that right leg. Working through the heel of the left leg. Exhaling, sinking forward. Sinking down, feel those hip points, work to the floor. Draw that left hip forward, the right hip back. Feel the strength, feel the opening, sinking back again. Inhaling, sinking forward. Beautiful work. Step that back foot in about a half a step and drop the heel down. And then bring yourself up into warrior 2. So it can be a spinning open, it can be a building up, it doesn't matter, sink straight down. Let that right knee travel to the little toe, sink a little deeper into that knee. Feel the quadriceps begin to work. Inhaling, sinking back into dancing warrior. Let that hand travel down your back leg, open that side body, and then coming back forward, sliding across the body, elbow comes to the leg, remembering to sink into the knee. And I say that for myself as much as anybody else because I have a tendency to pull out of it. Sink down into it. Inhale, reach those fingertips, reach into the ceiling. Find your breath. Little balance going on here. If you're sinking into that quad, then there's a lot of balance going in. Spin that hand behind you and bring it all the way around behind you. You have the space to connect it to your arm. Sometimes I help it. I'm almost there. And then look over that shoulder if you have the space in your neck. Open that heart to receiving. Breathing into it. Sinking into that knee. Staying with it, finding your breath. Feeling the heat building. Notice where that core is. Is it engaged or is it on vacation? Just notice. Inhaling, releasing that arm behind you, bringing it back up, reach toward the ceiling again to just pull that shoulder joint out. Give it some space. Turning the hand and reaching it up over your head. Nice, long, lateral opener. Open that heart. Don't collapse into it. Allow the body to remain open. Breathe into it.
Completing the circle, cartwheeling down, all the way down, stepping up back into forward fold. Woo! Dropping all the way down. Taking a minute here to wiggle around, make sure your feet are underneath your hips. Feel those knees spin open as you drop down. Child's pose is welcome at any time if you need a break. Soften through the knees, sinking down into a squat. And then inhaling, lifting back up into forward fold. On the next inhale, rolling your vertebrae up one at a time. All the way up, dropping out of your shoulders. Inhaling your hands up overhead. Nice and tall. So let's build this again. Knees are spinning to the little toes. Energetic move of opening up those legs. Dropping out of the tailbone, drawing that belly button back. Softening through the shoulders, but tightening the muscles around the arms. Bringing the ears over your shoulders and lengthening long through the crown. Find your breath. Feel the connection between heaven and earth. Feel the energy holding you strong. One more breath. Inhaling up through your fingertips, opening the hands wide, exhaling, letting the hands travel back down beside you, slowly dropping out of your shoulders. Slower, reaching those fingertips away from you. Slowly. Allowing the body to be strong and supported by the energetic body around us. Hands come to facing forward as we come into full mountain pose. Notice what you can let go of and still be strong and standing. If you engage your pelvic floor, can you let go of the hips? Just notice. From right here, on the next inhale, we're going to bring our hands right out in front of us, and we're going to begin to pour into our right foot, headed to balance. So you might want to soften your gaze and find a point to look at that's not going to move, so that would not be me. And we're going to lift our left foot off the floor, and we're going to begin to head into standing warrior 3, which would be arms and leg parallel with the earth, but not happening in this body today. This is my warrior 3 today. So let the strong power that we have built hold us and sustain this balanced posture. Nowhere to go, only find your breath. Soften your toes, no gripping. Two more breaths. And inhaling, coming back up, arms come down. Close your eyes, take a minute, find your mountain. Notice the difference from right side to left side. Notice if your mind took a journey somewhere. How is your balance? The key to balance is emptying the thinking mind. And that's why finding a drishti point to focus on is so helpful to pour all of your attention into one point. So this is true off the mat. That if something is whirling around in your mind that is being destructive to you, find one thing to focus on. One thing, and put your attention there. On the next inhale, we're going to bring our hands back in front of us. We're going to pour our weight into our left leg. Feel the pelvis stabilize, and then as you find a point to look at, feel that right leg come off the ground. And if you can go into full warrior 3, I'll pass through. I don't know if I can stay there. It's here. but I'm not there today. So I come to where your warrior supports you. Warriors are always growing and changing, and every day is different. One day warrior is strong, one day warrior needs more training. Find your breath. And you'll be different from the left side to the right side. And sometimes the warrior falls down, that's okay too. On the next inhale, draw back up, hands come down. Find your full mountain. Mountain is resting pose and standing. So palms face forward. Allow your body to wiggle around. A lot of times the body wants to wiggle. There's no requirement that says you have to stay still in yoga. It's always okay to move. Because after the movement comes stillness. Find your breath. On the next inhale, inhaling the hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Hands come to either side of the feet. Step the feet back, all the way back into downward facing dog. Give your full expression of dog and find your breath. Give your breath to the dog. Bow down to the divine within the self. Lift through the tail, heels to the floor. And on the next inhale, we're going to sink straight forward into plank. Straight forward. Let your shoulders come completely over your hands. Hold plank here if you can. Modify it if you need to. Belly button to the spine. On the next inhale, exhale and begin to lower down. Modify it if you need to. Hover. Inhale, roll those shoulders back and lengthen up into cobra. Find where cobra supports you. Where do you need your cobra today? Does it need to be a little cobra? Does it need to be a bigger cobra? There is no requirement to go big. Little is okay. Little cobra is as powerful as big cobra. Know that. Less is more. On the next inhale, we're going to press all the way back into child. So open those knees wide. Draw the heels together, sinking all the way back. All the way back. Sinking down. There it is. You have arrived where you have begun, and yet you are different. On the next inhale, we're going to rise up and find your way into lying on your back. If you want to do a vinyasa to get there and jump your feet through, always a nice invitation, certainly not required. But find yourself lying with your feet in standing. Bring your hands up overhead and then draw the elbows down into cactus, also known as field goals. So this is an interesting heart opener because by bending the arms at the elbows to lie with our shoulder blades back, it invites the shoulders to open in a different way.
So just drop into this. Notice what you're feeling. So this is a great heart opener, whether you have a towel to lay over or you don't have a towel to lay over. Sometimes just a very simple lying down on the floor, being a cactus, being a field goal, allowing the heart to open. Feels delicious. On the next inhale, walk the feet the width of the mat. So in line with our gentleness, with our hands in field goal, just do a little pelvic tilt and feel that spine flatten against the earth. Feel the belly button drop down. Notice that even though the belly button's down, when you take a deep breath, the belly will rise even though the support is still there with the belly button. This is a great place to work from. Find your breath. Gentle lifting through the pelvic floor, and on the next inhale, prepare to drop the knees to the left, and as you exhale, do so. So let the knees just travel. This is a twist. It's a very gentle twist. And so if you want to deepen this, you can take your left foot and place it on top of your right knee, and that will deepen the twist. Not happening today for me, but it's there if you want to try it or use it. Now, lengthen through your crown and exhale and turn your nose to face your right elbow. This is a great way to lengthen and twist the dural tube, which is it's this casing that's all around the nerves of the spinal cord. It's gentle and super effective. Breathing into it. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Inhaling, bringing the nose back to center. Notice what's happening in the lower body, and then begin to bring the knees back up to center. Take a pause here. Engage that pelvic floor. Feel that back flatten against the earth. How is the right side different than the left side? Where are you hanging on that you no longer need to hang on? Soften it. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, let the knees travel the other direction, to the left. If anything's in your way, move it out of the way. Okay, again, the option is there to draw that right foot and put it on top of the left knee. Super deep, not happening here today, but available to you. Lengthen through that crown and twist that nose the other direction. Imagine all the nerves in the spine, that whole spinal cord, being given this yummy, delicious wringing out, letting go of anything that is unnecessary. And as you have a healthy spinal cord, then all the nerves that come off of that, it's the trunk of the tree of all of our nerves in the nervous system. Healthy and strong creates a healthy and strong body. Breathing into it. Inhaling, bringing that nose back to center. Take note of what's happening in the lower body. When you're ready, inhale, bring those knees back to center. Take a minute here before you move your feet or anything. Inhale and exhale your back to the floor because you're pressing your belly button to the floor. Now walk those feet in back to hip distance. From here with your field goal, just flip your field goal the other direction. Oh, how does that work? That's a whole different way. Just give it about 3 breaths like this, allowing the arms to open a different direction. And then bring them down beside you, palms facing down. Inhaling, flattening the back against the floor, and exhaling, pressing up into bridge. Right there it is. Find where bridge holds you. Notice how the spine will move in different directions, even when we're offering a back bend. There's a little bit of a pulse going on, side to side, maybe a little twisting. If you really tap in, you can feel it. But close your eyes and drop into your perfect bridge. And if it doesn't feel quite right, come out of it and do it again. Find where bridge holds you. On the next inhale, take note of where you are, and exhale, lift a little bit deeper. Close your eyes. And as you drop in and you feel the body beginning to want to move into meditation and motion, that's available to you. Follow it. Allow it to come into your presence. Allow the body to show you the way. Invite the mind to stay out of it. And sometimes your meditation in motion continues to be bridge, and sometimes not. Just notice. No judgment. Only allowing. Following your breath. So in the next 2 or 3 breaths, find your way into Shavasana. If that means that you need knees at the chest before you go there, then do that. If that means that going straight into Shavasana works in your body, then do that. But find your own way. Feel the feet drop open. Feel the core soften to a place, a level that's comfortable in your body. Feel your breath grow shallow and the eyes grow heavy. And the mind slips away. Losing the mind creates space for divine to be seen. When the divine is seen, grace enters. Forgiveness is experienced. Breath flows more freely. Life moves forward in a different way. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And as you're ready to roll to your side, coming back to now, please do so. Hands to your heart. Namaste.
Namaste.